Hello. Welcome to JoJo Crosses. This is JoJo. I'm here on Faye Blossom and I'm starting out over here on the airport, but we're going to do a little tour. This is my entranceway here, and just kind of trying to show that it's a little magical. We've got some moons and just pretty trees, flowers, a little waterfall action. Our walkway here heads on over to resident services. And then this is, of course, where you would start your tour. I left you some gifts over here with just some cute little things to give you something to either wear or hold or have while you're traveling around my island. Behind resident services is just this little walkway here, and you can't really see too much on this side. It doesn't really go anywhere, but then if you go off to the left, you can take this down and look at the little bench and sit here in front of the waterfalls and have a little chill moment in front of my other side of this area here. But we'll head on back over this way, and then I think we're going to start to the left side of the island. So we'll head on back over here by the airport, and we'll go over here to the left. You can't really walk to the right over there, so you'll have to come back that way to go the other direction. But this is my little beachfront area. Oh, there's Sky. She's thinking about something. She can't go anywhere though. All right, we have a little gazebo here, and then this little walkway up here heads on back over to where my museum lives. And we have the museum covered to look more like a castle. And so luckily the blue really matched well with the top of the blue museum. However, you can't really see that from this angle, but as you're walking around it, you can kind of tell, especially when you go behind it or around the sides and things like that. So kind of helps it work in there pretty well. But I put a little pond over here, a couple of benches on the way in, and some statues and moons and such. And oh, there's hi Ione. Got a little bridge that heads over this way, and this is of course back over to resident services, so you've kind of made a full circle that way. And we'll head back down to the left again, because you can keep going past that walkway and off to our very first little neighborhood over here if you cross over this bridge. And this is our little campground area. It kind of lives here on the beach. We've got all these little campsites along the way and places on the beach to hang out, lay down, get some sun, enjoy your fairy day off, I suppose. And then here in the front is, of course, our cabin area. I just put a couple of things on there, no big deal. Little couch sitting area in front of the campsite. I know some people like to fill the campground, but I don't. It's not a big deal. Probably would look a little cuter if it was full, but I kind of forgot, so we're just leaving it. This is my little butterfly garden around my neighborhood here. And so we've got butterflies and flowers, and then this little pond in the middle, and a little seating area. All my villager houses are decorated inside and out, so you can go see them if they're open. And then I've got this little place to sit and have tea and cake or something like that with your bear friend. And then if you head on back over here, really there's just this other, villager house and the beachfront walk area. There's another little tea party area, I suppose, or a little celebratory area to sit. And then if you continue back over here, and we've got these couple of moons out here, just a few things to make it look pretty, but no real function, of course, just a place to walk and look nice and our big moon over there on the side. So, and then we're going to head on back this direction. And then there is an upper area to this neighborhood. And so we can head on over that direction and see what that looks like. So this little area connects up to the back here. You can see the waterfall on the right, and then we've got some terraforming on the left, and just some filler things on the top to make it pretty. This walkway goes up to our newest neighborhood that we just did on the last video, and it's basically just a little walk area through here, through this neighborhood. Pretty trees, some butterflies, bunnies, a little bench here to sit down and hang out and enjoy. And then our little river that runs through here. And you can kind of get a view over here of the front of Cookie's house, and that's where we did the little moon and statues and things like that. So you can't really see it that great from other angles, so I figured this is probably the best way to see that. But I really like how that turned out. I think it looks pretty. I always love those angels with fairy stuff, you know, the angel statues. So I said before, I think they look more fairy-esque, you know, than some of the other things. So if you head up here, we've got our beautiful statue and reindeer greeting you there into Meringue's area. And this is Meringue's house here. And again, they're all customized on the inside. The only one that's not is Julian's house, but honestly, he's already got kind of a fairy-esque magical kind of house, so I didn't feel like I needed to do that one too much. But I think I might have, I didn't even adjust his house because Julian has a very fairy type house. So, and then if you continue up this direction, this bridge to the right goes to the museum, and then if you go straight ahead, this is Sherp's house down here, and Cookie's off in the distance there, and you can see that, and a little more statues of the beautiful statue and the fairy or angel, and that big dragonfly that's not my favorite, but you know what, I just left it there. And this is the back side of that statue area by Cookie's house. You can't really walk through, so I just thought I'd show you that, but it still looks pretty up here. And then the water over there is just the barrier between my little lookout point where there's a ferry area that you can live in. But this is that bridge I said that crosses over to the museum area, so we're going to cross back over. So that's pretty much all the stuff that's done on this side of the island. And so if you continue to the right, this back here, you can kind of see the other side of that little peninsula area and the top of my museum. And that's just the stuff you can't really see if you pan to the right too much until you about walk back here. But, you know, there's no point. I just like that it's there and know that it's there. This little area takes you back to the resident services, and then this is my little lookout point that I made, and this is where you can look up and over and see this beautiful little fairyland over here where they all live, and they're kind of just settled in on the cliff area. Not a place that you can really get to. I mean, if you really try, you probably could, and if you had a ladder, but you could get up there, but it's pretty full and not really a great place to walk through. So it's more mainly just meant to be a place you can come and take a look at. And then you come on back down here, and we're going to go across to the right side of the island now. And Ione's enjoying our little seating area there. Just super cute. I love it when the villagers actually use this stuff. This is my little fairy door that I put over here. Little door to who knows what's in there. And then just a little walkway back behind resident services that just brings you back and forth. Up here we have our there's kind of like a little romantic cute fairy sitting area, some statues here again, and just a little escaping place to look out, the sorts of things. And of course, we've got our Able Sisters is behind this castle part up top. And can't really go anywhere here too much. I got a little blocked off, but there's a place to sit. You can kind of walk to the left and see a tiny bit, but you really can't go over there, which is fine. You don't really need to. It's more for looks. And then this side is Nook's Cranny. And there's some little hopovers here if you wanted to go in the back and get a little lookout point, but there's not much to see back there. So I just thought I'd show you that's just kind of where it takes you. You can kind of see my house off in the distance over there. Looks like some old ruins from this side, which I think is kind of cool. But wasn't really the intention, but it comes off that way, so it's good. And then we're going to head back down and head to the right. Oh, they're having a little conversation over there. This is just a little pathway down here, takes you to Judy's house. She's just set along the river here. She's got a little seating area and kind of a little private little area for her house, surrounded by some cliffs and stuff like that. But she's part of this little neighborhood off here to the right. And then this is Julian's house with a little island in the middle behind him. And like I said, Julian's house is already fairy enough, so I didn't really do anything to that. But that's the little cliff area I kind of struggled with over there. But we've got a little walking path that goes through down here. And then, Sahara was visiting today. And then if you come down here, we've got this area that takes you through to, I forget whose house this is, to be entirely honest with you, but there's some beach area here that you can come and sit down, relax, have a nice little day here on the beach. Got a little shower to shower off after your day on the sand. And then Meringue is enjoying my little picnic area and the nature around here. So she really followed me around because her house is on the other side of the neighborhood. So she ended up where I am here. This is my rock garden. And you can't really get in there. The little tree of wisdom is in the middle. And there's some, just pretty little scaping around it. Flowers, bushes, things like that. I think it looks kind of neat there. Just meant for prettiness. Nothing more than that. Not that that's a word, prettiness. I just threw that out there. And then if you continue around, over here, that's the front side of Judy's house that we went to. So you just kind of curl around the back. It's the same thing there. And then we've still got this little pathway. If you continue up and past Julian's house, that's where you're going to head to my house. And so we've got the beaches done up this way as well. And just kind of can hop over to my house. And then we've got some shells and things on the beach, little walking path there, and then this little bench here. And then there's my house. I've got my little gyroid choir here. They're singing along. I'm not sure if that music comes through when you go on the tour, if you do the DA, but it's there. And then I've got a little seat here. You can sit, have a little cake and drink. And this is just the cliff above by my house. There's not really anything going on there. And if you jump across, this backside is really just filler. I went ahead and let the weeds grow in. You can't really see it anyways, but it is full of weeds. And this little water river here is what separates that big fairy area across. So there's really no point in going back here, but I just thought I'd show you like how it's filled in so you know. I like to let the weeds fill in when I was doing my rock garden because then a rock won't grow there. So, and I just left them because like I say, you can't really see them when you're walking around the island. So anyways, that is my little fairyland. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and this little fairy area that I created, this fairy island. If you like this island, if you have any questions, suggestions, comments, please comment below. If you have not become a part of our family here, I would love if you would subscribe. That helps the channel expand and helps us grow, and I would really love that. But thank you for watching, for taking any time that you do in watching these videos. I really do appreciate you guys, and thank you so much for being a part of this. And this island was fun to do. I hope you guys enjoyed the tour. And again, if you have any questions, issues, anything like that, let me know. Otherwise, I really appreciate it. We're going to see what we do next. I'm not sure yet, but I'm trying to give it a think right now. So Forever Island will be coming on the next video, and we will talk to you guys soon. All right, have a good day. Bye.